Hi, good evening. If you can hear me, please type hello, hi. Testing, 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 testing. If you're able to hear me, say hello. Welcome back to Baby Talk with Patricia. You can hear me well, say yes, I can hear you. Sometimes your comments may come in a little bit slower, but I will definitely see your comment. Enjoy my music. In a while, we'll go live. Let me just get this out. Oops. All right. I'm ready to start. Can you hear me well? Please type I can hear. Hello, Parizat. Welcome in very early. Now, can you hear me? Because I just click on my mic to make sure that you can hear me better. Mic's working. Hello, Mitri. Hi, Misha. Oh, I missed Misha, actually. Saturday, we missed you, Mitri, actually. Welcome back, everyone. I'm going to get started. Right. Welcome back. Welcome back. I'm happy to see all of you. And we're just going to get ourselves started now. Okay. Baby Talk with Patricia Zoey, the baby expert. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to, I'm not sure how many episodes this is already, but it's really good to have everyone back on Baby Talk with me tonight. And we are going to talk about a very advanced topic tonight, right? I mean, some of you may just have an infant baby, and we're going to talk about school. Okay, welcome back. And when you're in, please say hello. Let me see, right, who are in right now. Okay, Parizad, hello, welcome back. And I really appreciate your presence every time, every Tuesday night at 9:30. And yes, Mitri is in. I know I see many pairs of eyes there as well. Sometimes your comment don't come in early. Just say hi so that I know you're there, okay? It's really nice to know that I'm talking to some real people who are live with me. Yeah, and it's really nice to know that. And as usual, like I said, I'm not talking to myself, which is something that I'm not very used to, but getting used to it. And I do more of the live with you. And welcome back, parents. And I really do appreciate that you are keen to learn about your baby, learn about your baby's environment, learn to be, well, a better parent, right? To give your baby the best that you can during the first 3 years. And so let me, while waiting for some parents to come in, I will just do a very quick introduction of myself. Some of you may be quite new to me. I'm Patricia Zoey Tan. I'm founder of the Early Brain Academy, and we have been operating in Singapore in the last 5 years, and we're into the 6th year, and we are still serving many parents and very happily serving with much joy as well. And we also have more and more parents who are also in our Early Brain Academy learning specifically how to develop the child in the first 0 to 3 years. We specialize in children below 3. Okay, and as they graduate, some of them may be 3.5, but we just take children 0 to 3 because the first 3 years is the time where the brain grows most exponentially and most explosively. Okay, so welcome back, parents. My Facebook on my phone seems to be really lag. I can't even see myself on it, so I'm just relying on one screen. Okay, so do give me feedback if you can hear me well. Please type you can hear me. Are you able to hear me well and see me well? Can you write, I can hear and see? Can hear and see? so that I know, because my Facebook is a bit fuzzy. I'm not sure why. I might have to log out and come back in again. Something is really weird in my Facebook Live today. Okay. And I only see response from Parizat, and can hear and see. Excellent, very nice. Okay, because I was so engrossed in setting up, I just put on my mic. I just want to make sure that it's working. I didn't test it like before. Okay, nice to have everyone back. And yeah, I'm just waiting for some parents to type, I'm here, and say hello. Okay, if you are here, I'd like you to type in, right, the age of your child. Okay, those, Teresa, I kind of know, right? You have two, isn't it? And your elder one is just turned 4. Yes, and of course we know Mitri, right? Misha, yes. And today we have, Elcinta, this is your topic, right? As you requested, I'm back. Okay, Elcinta, I can see that you're in. Yeah, just say hello. Okay, now today our topic, right, is something very, very big, and we're going to talk about when is your baby or toddler ready for school, right? Okay, yeah. Okay, Parisa, sorry, I just mistaken. You have a baby boy who is 4 years old this year, just turned 4, isn't it? So very nice. Well, my son turns 12 exactly next Monday, July 20th. We are excited. We are planning some virtual party for him because we're still trying to avoid the crowd. So yeah, exciting time. Okay, and getting delivery of birthday cakes. It feels like I'm going back to my baby's first month. Delivering cakes to the friend's house. Because of his birthday, and it's really nice to celebrate 12 years of his life. Now, it's nice to know that our parents are learning, and so tonight our topic is when is your baby or toddler ready for school, right? And definitely we have many more regulars tonight. When you're here, you can hear me well. Please type your baby's birth age, okay? Age as in how many months your baby, all right? So that I know where you all are as well, so that, like I always say, the better I know you, the better I can share, and more in a context and something more relevant as well, so that it covers what your interest. Okay, so it's nice if I could see your age, and I always like to put up your comments. It's really beautiful to see people putting up the comments, and it's something that is really nice to watch, right? When I rewatch my replay, is that mummies are also interacting amongst yourself, and I feel so glad that we have a community here, that I call my learners parents, who are keen to learn, okay, and very interested in your baby's upbringing, and you want to do it yourself, right? So yeah, tonight I'm just going to talk about this very big topic. Okay, when is your baby, okay, a toddler, ready for school? And I haven't seen the age coming in. Maybe I would ask, hi Jacqueline, yes, nice to see your waving hand. Yeah, my two screen don't seem to tally. Hi Jacqueline, I'm gonna wave back as well. Yes, and Priscilla. Yeah, my son turns 12. Wow, right? Yeah, it's a pleasurable journey for me. Now, parents, I just want to also ask, right, how many of you have already started infant care, some kind of schooling for your child? I think, okay, let me define school for you, okay? Then we all can, I like to see your response here. Okay, first, I want to scope what I'm sharing today. As you know, it's important for me to speak within the scope, so that it is qualified. Okay. Well, when I say school, or actually some say school, and some parents mean childcare. So okay, when actually below 3, most of the services provided out there are actually called childcare. Okay, childcare services, where you put your child in a childcare center. Some parents send your child there for 2 hours, 3 hours. Some send there for the whole day if you work full time, right? So this is what I mean, okay? And although school is a term people use quite loosely, and some parents come and tell me, right, when does my child go to school? And after I ask a bit more, right, they say childcare. So I'm just going to define that when I say school, I mean, okay, it could mean also childcare, but the definition plainly, right, is outside of home. Okay, let's have this understanding. What I'm going to share is talking about when is it, is a child ready to be, nurtured outside of home. All right, let's put that very specifically, is when is your child ready, okay, to be nurtured outside of home? All right, so I hope that is scope for us. And I would like to see how many of you have already sent your child outside for preschool, for childcare. Can you just type in if you childcare, right, and then put how many hours? Okay, whole day, you can put childcare whole day. Let me have a feel of my audience, so that like I said, as a professional trainer and coach as well, I always like to know my audience well, so that I can relate well with you as well, okay? So that I can be relevant. So please type in, right? If you have already, but if your child is still at home, you just put home, all right? So there are 3 choices to type, right? Okay. Well, I think preschool, we have lesser parents. If your child is below 3, it won't be much of a preschool, but more of a childcare. Okay, if it's childcare, how many hours? Okay. Preschool usually starts at 3 years old, where your child goes for a pre-nursery, right? Pre-nursery, yeah. 3 years old, you start pre-nursery. 4 years old is nursery. And then 5 years old is kindergarten 1. 6 years old is kindergarten 2. Okay, this is how the school system is like quite in Singapore. Okay, I'm talking about this in Singapore. All right, so yeah, nice. Thank you, Michelle. Yes, welcome back. Yes, so Cameline has gone to nursery, childcare, right? Yeah, half a day. Okay, good. And please share, okay? Please type in your baby, how often. Elcinda is home still. Yes, I understand that. And other parents, please type in, so I know where your child is being nurtured, okay? And then I have a lot more to share with you, but let me know you better as well, okay? So that at least we have a two-way communications, and it's really nice for me to know you better as well. Okay, so yeah, let me not be speaking to myself. Okay, yeah, please type in if your child has started childcare, nursery. Okay, so for result, your child has gone to, I would say that is, if you are in Singapore, then that will be a pre-nursery, right, where they go for 3 hours school as well, so that I know where your child is being exposed to. Okay, Michelle. Okay, Kimberly, and yeah, do type in, right, other parents who are listening in. Hello, Connie. Hello. Yes. Let me know if your child has started childcare, and if your child goes to childcare, how long does your child go to childcare for? Okay. Yeah. Online class. Oh, result, your child is going waiting for online class. Okay. And okay, very good, Connie. Your child is at home still. Yes. All right. So yeah, other parents who are listening in, do share, okay, your where your child is being nurtured, right? Okay. Now why I want to know that is because then I can scope it in for you. When is your child ready? Let me now start by talking about the neurological need of the child, okay, in relations to a school. All right. And hello, Shuping. Yes, so fast. Your son is 13 months already, and while still home. Very nice. Okay. And in fact, you will learn more. Okay, what we talk about. Oh, your son has completed nursery. Wow. Okay, good. Now, so Parisa, different countries have different system. Okay, and some, if your child goes to international school, it's also a different system. But I'm talking more relevant to Singapore, but more or less they're quite similar. Okay, and nice, Charlotte. Okay, okay, infant care. Yeah, I understand. Okay, now let's talk about it. And I'll be sharing also towards my second part of today's sharing is also I'm going to talk about what are the criteria, what are the things to look out for. I hope it helps you in managing your child's childcare and infant care kind of environment, and it also can become a little short checklist for you, so that you at least you're guided, right, in making the right decision as well. Okay. Yeah. Oh, Parisa, now you're in the Philippines. Okay. I kept thinking that you are in Singapore, Yes. Okay. Now, nice. Now, let's come to today's topic, right? I'm talking about the neurological need of your child. And as I always share, this is below 3 years old. Okay, Patricia, I know your child is a bit over, but I hope it helps you relate it backwards a bit, okay? And then maybe, try to apply it. Our other parents is very nice. And some of the parents who are here already know you as well. And I know that most of your children are below 3 years old. So I'm really going to talk, why I always talk about below 3, so that you all know my scope as well. Because below 3 is where, I tell you what, that's where the awe is, and where the mystery, really the great mystery about, of course, the brain has its potential throughout our life. Even me, right, at nearly 50, I still can learn. But I tell you, in the first 3 years of your child's life, that is where the brain grows most exponentially. And I've explained that in a very scientific manner, right, in how the synapses connect. And parents who are interested, I know I've been taking a long time because I'm in the midst of renovating our new center, in and out. But yes, I want to launch my live webinar, and I really then can expand a lot more, to talk to you about the brain, so that you all really understand. But just in a nutshell, okay, the first 3 years is where the synapses in the brain, of the over 100 billion neurons, right, they are connecting. So that's why I'm very interested to cover this topic, because that is where, if you miss it, you miss it. Okay, parents, if you miss it, you miss it. All right. Wow. Okay. Jacqueline, in childcare food day, huh? Okay. Well, I will. Okay, let me, before I start, right, since I see this response, then, sometimes you see, I'm very fluid in the sense, because when I see your response and where you all are, sometimes I add in things into the things that I didn't plan for. That's why, sometimes I always go beyond the time. I do hope you all understand, appreciate extra sharing. I always share extra beyond my plan, But I look at all your responses, and also I have half the parents here who have already started childcare, or even, food day. So I really want to share this. Okay. Actually, many parents have asked me, who are in our academy doing our program, and their children, of course, have, advanced. Our children who are doing our program really are rather advanced, and they are more mature in many ways. And parents always do tend to have a question, how, parents do ask when can they send their child to school, because they're doing a program, they're really way beyond, okay, what they can do in school. But yet, like I mentioned, in our academy, we don't talk about going to school, but we just teach parents how to create activities, how to embark on our activities, right, and using our formula and our system. Excuse me, I know I kind of something choked on me, and I forgot to bring water up today. Okay, so I try to clear my throat. Yeah. Okay. Shiping says that you try 4 months, right? Okay. Yeah. Right. I'm going to comment on this, but I know, all of us here, I mean, the parents here are of different stages, different life stage, different home environment as well. So I really cover a lot of things in here. Okay. And I hope you're hanging there. Hi, Geraldine. I can see you. Okay. Now, first thing, parents, like I mentioned just now, right? Those who come in later, because I see more and more parents coming in, I just want to share that when I say school, okay, I don't mean school, okay. I'm just using a very generic term. Let me scope that. When I say school, I mean childcare or infant care. Basically, my definition, right, is nurturing your child outside of the home. Okay, your child has more time being nurtured outside of home, not by you personally. That means, you have to park your child somewhere else. That's my definition of my topic today. All right. So we can talk more relevantly. So parents do ask me that, Patricia, since I do advocate that we don't need to send a child to outside of the home to be taught early. So parents always ask me when then is the right time and why. Okay, it's like I said, it's a very huge topic, and parents who are in my academy, of course, they have heard me sharing about the development of the brain of different stages. Okay, just let me summarize it for you. Is that children's brain, okay, needs time to develop, of course, although they are growing, right, connecting ferociously, but it also takes time for our babies, right, who are below 3, for the brain in that 3 years to be connected. All right, so before the synapses are properly connected, okay, we need to give baby time to develop speech, language skill, physical skill, and even you'll be very surprised, okay, many of our babies in the academy are able to develop a logical mind, okay, able to follow sequence. So we're talking about higher level cortex function, right? So this is where we talk about babies in the first 3 years need to develop these capabilities. But what happens is that, you see, many parents are eager because they hear when they hear parents, right, talking about going to school, going to childcare, many parents start to question and be eager. And of course, we are what's that? FOMO, right? Fear of missing out in the school. And so my first question to you parents, right? I have so much to share, but I'm veering away a bit. Okay, looking at your response, huh? Okay, my first question for you parents is that why? Okay, why? What is your need of sending your child to school? Okay, what is your need? If you were to tell me that your need, because these are the questions parents ask me, okay, and so many who come to our academy, the child are well developed. So then, some of them at about 1 year old, or when they reach 18 months, especially, right, parents are asking me, Patricia, which childcare should I send my child to? And some mummies I know are actually stay-home mom. They actually are the best people to nurture their children, but they're asking me, where should they be sending their child to childcare? And then that's where I asked our parents back, what is your reason for sending your child to childcare? And there are various reasons, okay? Number one reason is, of course, if you have to go back to work, husband and wife have to work, and you don't have a good childcare, good care at home, okay? You don't have a grandma, grandpa, or a good carer at home. Yes, okay, that's one reason. Another reason, which I would say 50% of the time, is, oh, my child needs to go and socialize. I want to send my child to childcare to make friends, to socialize. Okay, that's the second reason many of our parents do give me, all right, as they share this. Well, parents, I just want to tell you that, and third reason, right, is actually, oh, yeah, I don't want my child to miss out. I want to send my child to a childcare or a preschool to learn, all right, to go to a school so that the teacher there can teach them better. But I'm talking in relative to, like, if you have, you learn the capability to develop a child, okay? I mean, I'm talking in the context of parents in our academy, and you are hearing me, you also like taking a lot of tips from me as well, all right, about developing your child. Now, parents, with these three reasons, right, the most valid to send your child to childcare is, of course, the first one, because you don't have any good care at home, and the childcare is your next best, choice. But for the second reason of sending your child to for socializing, parents who have heard me in my workshop one, parents in our academy program, you heard that actually our child's development, right? They haven't developed the peer socialization skills, all right, until they take time. They take time to develop. So do not fear that your child won't have the chance to socialize. Socialization, actually, your child learns socialization, right? How to socialize, which is, one of the S, and then PIES is what the system that we apply in our academy. And that's the social excellence part. Actually is nurtured at home, parents, because socialization starts with the child socializing with their next of kin, as in their closest circle, okay, of caregiver, mommy, daddy, grandpa, grandma, the domestic helper, auntie, or other caregiver. Okay, so if you talk about when you send your child, at 1.5 or even below that for social reason, then that's not a very valid reason. Okay, parents, you know your family well and so on. I'm just giving you my analysis, and it's really your decision. Okay, because I feel that every one of us have our own restraint and constraint and so on. But I'm just sharing this very plainly and honestly with you. And the third one, if you say that you want your child to go to a childcare or preschool to study, to learn, parents, your child have a lot of time from 7 years or onward to go out to a proper school to study. We don't need to start your child too early in school. And even if you send your child to a childcare, well, it's really a lot more for babysitting, but not so much for schooling. Okay. And in fact, parents who are in our academy, you know, right? You all know you have a lot to do, your baby. Yes. But you know what? That first 3 years is just the best, okay, that you can give to your child. In fact, if you're in our academy, you start from birth, right? And our parents are done with the first 2 years, you know. And in fact, by the 20th month, the baby is well mature and they are really articulate, right? That's the average, okay, for many parents who are in our early brain academy. And, you know, and you can just be on a very, very good track up. But parents who are not listening into me, right, you've learned so much tips already, yeah? So I hope that you're applying it at home as well. And you are creating the best environment for your child. But I do qualify that there are some needs for childcare. There's definitely a function and a need for childcare. Okay, and some parents say, oh, 18 months already, my child must go to school or go to childcare. Why? Because the environment, right? If you are working, your colleagues, and you read, and of course, most childcare centers are advertising about 18 months, right, to start childcare, or we say preschool. Well, parents, this is my observation on the economy and the environment, okay, is that we are very much in a capitalist economy, huh? And parents who know me, have interacted with me personally. I mean, okay, this part is really my opinion. Is my, some of you know my first degree was actually in economics, so I'm just going to talk a bit about that, okay? Well, you see, for double income, right? And because we are in a capitalist economy, so what happens is that there's creation for the need for childcare, right? To park our children there so that mummies and daddy can be productive, isn't it? So yeah, then that starts with 18 months. We cannot keep mommy home for too long, right? So we need to provide a help. So that comes with the proliferation of childcare center. That's how I observe, in the trend of the increasing number of childcare and the need for childcare in the whole economy as large. But because the childcare are created to meet that economical need. Okay, but if you have are not both working, or mommy still have maybe working from home half day, there's really no need to be in a hurry. Okay, so that's what my answer to a very long answer to a simple question. When should I send my child, or when I want to send my child to childcare, right? So yes. And okay, I'm going to put up, before I go on to my next segment, right, I'm just going to answer some of the question, right? I was just asking me, would I consider kindergarten as school, right? And would I have to talk about the difference between, okay, very simple. Kindergarten, right, is 5 and 6 years old. Okay, childcare is, in my plain definition, is really babysitting. Okay, below 3 is babysitting, but there are some childcare that are providing kindergarten facility and the education system. Because if your child goes to a full day childcare, then a part of the childcare, I'm talking about, let's say, 5 years old or 6 years old, okay, where the children need to go to a childcare because mommy and daddy are working. So kindergarten education is then incorporated in that childcare, and so that the childcare center is qualified to bring your child through that kindergarten is the education system. Actually, to me, kindergarten is not a childcare. Okay, kindergarten is a education system. Okay, that prepares a child to go to school at 7 years old. Okay, I hope I have answered that. And so kindergarten is quite synonymous to really very much, it is a preschool, right? That I would define a preschool. Okay, so Christabel has, super bored at home. Okay, yeah, this is where you talk about bored at home and you send your child, she's big friend. Okay, that's fine, yeah. There's so much I want to talk, and then this comes with some idea that I want to share. Okay, I have to scope. Okay, yeah, if I go over time to parents, let me know as well. Yeah, Patricia says to social, if your child is beyond 3, yes, they're ready because they build their peer socialization skill. Okay, parents, peer socialization skill for most children. So don't think that your child is antisocial. Some parents say, oh, my 1.5 goes to the playground, doesn't mix with others. My 2 years old doesn't mix with others in the playground, so I must send them to childcare to learn socialization. Parents, actually, I'm coming to that, okay, in my which I plan to talk to you about. Actually, your child is not ready for peer socialization. Okay, I actually do have a chart, and that is shared in our academy program, where actually, it's about 3 years old onwards. But children who are in our academy, of course, they are developed early, right? Some of them we observe that they're ready at about 2.5. Okay, for peer socialization. Okay, so don't you need to understand your child, and let's not label them too early and say, oh, are they antisocial? I have many parents at 1.5, 2 years old say, oh, my child go to the playground, doesn't meet with the rest. Oh, they are, my child is so antisocial, must that, try to train them to socialize. No. There's actually a process to that. Okay, how to socialize and so on, how to build a child's emotion. So the emotional stability. That all these are essential, okay, parents, before we even talk about childcare, before we talk about okay, let me, in case there are childcare teachers here today, which I don't see, Samantha, okay, Wendy. Well, let me really scope it. I'm not against any childcare or school system, but I'm just trying to help you analyze and understand your child's need at different stage, okay, and then you make the decision. Right. So there is definitely a need for childcare to help parents, okay, who are both working and outside, you can't do it, and the home doesn't have the environment. But what I'm talking about is that, let's say if you have any room, okay, that your child may, be nurtured at home. Well, I'm going to talk about that as well. But first, I'm talking about, the neurological need, for regular. You see, the brain has the need, okay, for regular and intentional. Parents, when I say intentional, is that the parent actually applying a proper system, okay, with proper intensity in the program. It's not like, oh, I just touch like that, huh? Okay, my child already got stimulation, I just talk to my baby like that, right? Got stimulation. It's not like that only, because the stimulation, because the brain needs to grow, right? And the synapses needs to connect. And you do need frequency and repetition. Okay, you need a proper system that guides your child, right? Guide you to provide the environment for your child. Okay, and so my baby is very happy today. I got my baby a new jumper. It's very hard to find a 0-year-old jumper. Is that cute, right? You see, I'm proud that God answers prayer. Okay, I just received it on I ordered for a while, and I hope you all like my baby jumper. I just want to give you a new clothes. Okay, so sensory stimulation. All right, you need to give regular and intentional sensory stimulation and physical activities. That's what the brain needs. And parents who have heard me, right, in previous life, and if you are new, please watch my replay, okay? I've already expounded so much, and parents who are regular, you know what I'm talking about, yeah? But today I'm not, going to talk about this part, because I want to talk about school. Now, so there must be intentional, okay, sensory, and who is the one to give your child the best, right? The one-to-one attention, because this regular and intentional stimulation, right? I would say that not the childcare is not good, but there is a teacher-student ratio, right? And it is different. The attention given to your child is definitely different. And any childcare principal, which I have many friends who are, okay, and teachers, they will tell you that definitely, right, the childcare can't provide the kind of attention that the mommy or grandma or grandpa could give to the baby. Okay, so the neurological babies actually from 0 to 3 have that neurological need, okay, for regular, and the key word here is intentional sensory stimulation and very intentional physical activities to be provided for your baby's brain to grow. I'm going to talk about brain. Parents, I know it's a lot of specifics and it's huge science to it, okay? So we need this brain to grow well, and that's where you need the one-to-one, interaction and a system to provide for your baby. The next thing we're going to talk about is the psychological need, okay? The psychological need of your baby for security and dependence. Okay, baby has need, and your baby can be very dependent. Okay, so and like Patricia said, right, of course, yes, childcare cannot provide enough of that. It's the household. So like I said, if there is no because I think parents are quite well read and too broadly read and can be quite misinformed, and we have this FOMO, right, that we want to be with a pack. And when people talk about 18 months, got to go to childcare, when we start to search and ask for the answer. So I hope I can give you a good answer today, okay? And like I always say, I welcome you asking more questions, all right? And let me bring back my banner. Hey, parents, please key in your question if you want me to address. Now, psychological need of your baby for security and dependence. And I have been explaining this as well, that actually, right, baby, especially below 3 and first year, especially in the first year, they do have that need. We call that the dependence attachment, okay? And that explains why. Okay, there is actually a myth which I really want to address that, okay, which is there's a myth, and I must say for this, right, childcare teachers and principals will really like me, is that many parents say that when they send their child to childcare, right, or to preschool in any form, the child falls sick. And they say, oh, they contract disease, or they get spread, right? The germ spread in the childcare. That's why the child come home being unwell. But parents, actually, it is more about the brain. Okay, when you take a child outside of their comfort zone, which is from the home, and they have to adapt in a strange environment where mommy and daddy are not there, grandma, grandpa there, the innermost circle is not there, right? The need for security attachment is not there. So when a child goes to the childcare, they start to see someone new, right? Strange. And worse, right? Some childcare, the teacher attempts, or some of them may come and go, because I know the turnover rate in childcare center is very, very high. Okay, that's one of the reasons why I dare not operate childcare, although many parents are requesting for that. Now, parents, that's one thing that your child facing different parents, right? Do you know what happens? That actually creates stress in their environment, which they can't tell you. Okay, but parents, when a child leaves their security, which is home, early, it's nothing, something that the body will cope and overcome. Okay, so don't feel bad about it if your child goes to childcare and they have this. And when the child is stressed, when psychologically, when you are stressed, right, what happens is that the cortisol hormones, right, will secrete. And cortisol hormone is related to stress. And when the cortisol increases, what happens is that immune system drops. Okay, so parents, just understand that. And it may not be someone's spread germs. Okay, so I want to debunk this myth, because it is a very real issue. So, and then parents say, they realize that after a while, right, maybe after 6 months or 3 months, your baby doesn't fall sick so easily, right? Yeah, because the child gets adapted to the environment already. If you all agree with me, parents who have been your child go to childcare, if you agree with me, this right, I haven't seen your response, and please hit the like and heart shape. Okay, please send me that, so I know that it's suddenly very still. I don't see your response already. Can you please type your thumbs up and heart shape, and please type in right true. Okay, I also want to verify this, right? Parents who have children go to childcare, the first few months your child tend to fall sick, and then parents always blame it on childcare. I can tell you it's not the childcare, it is just the child's body system that's trying to cope with the new environment, and if you agree with me and you personally have the experience, right, please type true. Okay, and let me know that you agree with me. All right, and so parents, I hope I have actually addressed the first part, which is that my explanation about neurological need and psychological need, okay, of your child, right, to go to childcare. And no one agrees to say that your child, those who already send your child to childcare, do you see that the initial stage your child fell ill quite frequently, and you thought it was some disease being spread in the childcare center? Yeah, if you agree with me, I today I think my parents are rather quiet today. I don't have a chance to click your answers. Are y'all feeling sleepy and tired like me? Actually, actually just deviate a little, right? My dad was really unwell, and actually I wanted to go see him, about to cancel tonight, but I prayed about it and I thought about it. I decided to finish what I have to do today, okay, with you, so that I can share, and parents are making decisions as well. So I don't want to break my cycle, break my regularity with you. So I had to later on attend to my dad, who is not quite well. Yeah, so let's come back to this, right? Could you just type, right, any question or next thing? Okay, parents, let's have this interaction, right? Tell me, okay, how many of your child goes to childcare, and also tell me the duration. How many months already have your child been to childcare? Okay, if you could, right, parents, yeah, I would like to see you type in the those who just now earlier on mentioned, right, their child has gone to childcare and preschool. I want to know how long have they been to, okay? Yeah, okay, right. So Prasad just started with preschool, right, without childcare. That's fine, that's fine. Yeah. Like I said, I talk about childcare and preschool synonymously. Okay, basically my very plain definition is your child being nurtured outside of home. All right. So I'm also relating to especially below 3 years old and below. That's especially the time where the child social skill is developing over that duration. Okay, the period of time. Now let's come back to this. Okay. The next thing I'm going to talk about is the criteria. Okay, parents. For some of you who have not started sending a child, I'm sure you want to know what to look out for. And these are the questions that parents ask me too. What are the criteria? What should they look out for, right? And if you are keen, right, can you type 3Cs? Okay, parents. Otherwise, tonight is so suddenly, I mean, unlike the last week, right? So I'd like to hear you to share, okay? Yeah, 3Cs. Can you all quickly type in 3Cs, parents, so that I know you're there with me? And I can see the number of people who are tuning in. So really nice to see. Okay, thank you, Wen. Yes, I just want to see some movement so that I don't feel so lonely. Yes, and okay, Michelle is 3.5. Yes. Yeah lah, I see. The fear of school. Actually, there's another many good reasons why a child. It's not that they fear school, but okay, I have time. I will talk a bit more about that. Okay, Michelle, and I just want to finish this 3Cs to look out for. That I hope I can come back to this because it's I do have an explanation about that. Okay, yeah, thank you, parents, for putting in your 3Cs. And Michelle, I will hold your question, okay, so that I will go on to talk about the 3Cs. And the other parents, right? Okay, there are 3Cs, and I always like to make things easy for y'all to remember. Yeah, nice to have you back. Yes, and I know there's a lot of other parents who are watching my replay, and I do receive your comments sometimes. Yeah, thank you for that. And I also want to address our parents who are going to watch my replay. Welcome to Baby Talk. And I know many of you have become my regulars, and because you're regular, I also am motivated to be regular. That's why that's why I'm here. Okay, Alcinta, 3Cs. Yes. Okay, 3Cs. Thank you for participating and being active. Really nice to have you alive. Okay, so I know you're not sleeping. Now, first C, consistency in values. All right, parents, when you assess a childcare or a preschool for your child, you first must look for consistency in values with what? With you. Okay, the value that you set for your child at home has to be consistent, right, with the childcare. I know this is one thing that not so controllable for you. Okay, why do I say that? Okay, let me gently lay my baby down. One mommy who didn't quite understand English watched one of my streaming and saw me put down my baby a bit harder. She asked me, "Why are you throwing your baby?" It's not. I have to be very gentle this time. Okay, now let me say this. When where was I now? Yeah. Okay, consistent in value with you. Okay, what do I mean by that? For example, okay, I have seen some children can be very trying, right? 2 years old only, they go to childcare, especially those who are a bit more active, right? And they really, a lot of them were like TV kids, okay, television kids. So when they go to childcare, they can be quite difficult. And I really witness and see the childcare teacher, right? Okay, they really, the child is really uncontrollable, and not just one, okay, quite a few. So the teachers start to raise the voice, get higher, and then they start to, show, the kind of really fierce and unpleasant attitude, right? It's not nice, right? But your child is there watching, okay? So, well, parents, I need to understand these are not consistent with my value already, because my value is, talk nicely to a child, right? Even if a child is, but you see, many teachers cannot do that. Number one, right? It's because they have so many to attend to, right? Okay, so they have to use a one stroke hit all people. That's one. Okay, that goes back to my am I talking about? That, one-to-one is very different. Okay, so and also look for a childcare. If you can't, I mean, this kind of disciplinary is not quite controllable, but on a bigger scheme of thing, right, is that look for a childcare that hones certain values. For example, I share with some of my parents, and also to ask me the question is that I did share that I want my child to go to a okay, just to put things in context, right? My son only started nursery 4 years old. Okay, the first 3 years he was totally at home, 3.5 actually, and then when he was 3.5, he started nursery at that stage, and he was very stable. He was like a big coco already, and he was mature. He was reading independently, articulate. Okay, so he has all the good things. Right? So when he was in school, he was a natural leader. Okay, and in a way, I feel that he was actually considered a role model for many other children there. So that was what I have built. Yeah, okay. I mean, nurtured my son to become. But coming back is that when I look for even a nursery, right, for my son, I wanted a place that has similar value. Okay, you know what your values are, so go look around and interview the teacher, interview the principal, and see how they reply you. Because, for me, I like a nurturing environment where my son will receive, because of my belief and my faith, I want a mission nursery. So then that's the value. Okay, that's an example of the value I want my son to go into. And then the next thing is that how the value of how they see a certain issue, right? So how they tackle, just how I talk about the value of love, right? How they lovingly, or how they approach an issue, how the teacher themselves manage their anger, correct? Must be consistent with what you want. And these are the things, that I think you may want to look up for. Consistency in values with yours, yours. Okay, so that's important. Do not compromise on that. I feel that it's not much controllable, but you can feel, right? When you walk into a place, you can feel. Okay, and number 2, C, is a conducive environment for brain growth. I never depart from brain because, that's what I talk about. I live that, and parents who know me, right? Nothing, the brain is a control center of everything. The brain is a control center for behavior. And if the environment is not conducive for brain growth, when I say this is very different from the first point, okay, the first point I'm talking about values. Number 2, I'm talking about environment that provides, right? For example, you want a place where there's enough space for your child to move around, right? For your child to crawl long distance. You don't want a place that has a small room. And actually, I did, right? When I actually, I some of you know that I gave birth nearly 40 because one of the reasons is I was afraid to be a parent because I know the parenting issue. I have made a video, which I will post separately to share with you on my journey. But the other reason is actually I don't have home. My mother-in-law lives in Sydney. My mom has her own business, so no one to help me take care of my child. So at one stage, I was exploring infant care. Really, after 3 months of maternity, I have to put my son in infant care. I really got into nearly depression thinking about that. Okay, and I started to visit infant care as well. All right, and assessing, and there's some infant care that the moment I step in, I said, where there's no space for my son to maneuver. It's just a bassinet, and they have baby cots and just a little room. I felt so miserable, and there's not enough light for stimulation too. And they just put baby to bed to sleep. Then what kind of stimulation that is, right? So there are like that. I mean, parents, y'all visit also even more than me now. Today, that was 12 years ago. So today, 12 years later, I hope things have improved better, right? Much more for you. Okay, so look for a place where there's conducive. And parents, if you want to know about the environment that is conducive, my definition of the environment, right? Watch my earlier, live videos and even my videos that I have posted on my page. I've talked a lot about this, okay? And you can get from there. Space for a baby to crawl, to creep, okay? If your child starts walking, climbing, and so on, there must be like space. I've been to, this is not a childcare, but it's a preschool. 3 years old onwards, they have, indoor, where my son went to, the place that my son went to. which is the nursery, right, that he went. What impressed me, right? It's a big ground, right? They have a lot of space, and they even have a special gym, right, where there is actually an indoor rock climbing wall, and there is like spider web for the kids to solve problem with their body. I like that, right? And then they even have outdoor sand play. Okay, so parents, you need to think about this kind of environment for the experiential, and also, but that is 4 years onwards. But then if you talk about even earlier, right, you need even more of that. Okay, you need even more of that environment where your child has room to crawl, to creep, and preferably the teachers are trained in early brain development, right? And well, this is my next chapter, okay, which actually, I'm going to develop a program for preschool teachers that can enroll as well to learn the early brain development, and that increases their knowledge, their value as well, I hope. So yeah, but parents, this is where you need to look up. Okay, there are not many who are trained in early brain development, but just a babysitter. You don't want just so I know it's very high calling, this is very premium childcare I'm talking about, but I know that there are childcare who at least look for the environment that gives your child space, okay, and a childcare that believes in motor development, very important. Okay, not a place that swaddles. If you talk about infant care, if you talk about childcare, right? Okay, let's say if your child is 1.5 years, 2 years old, then that must be a place where it gives your child a lot of fine motor skill play. Okay, a lot of opportunity for deep breath. Okay, look for them having activities, right, for deep breathing, development as well. Okay, parents, can you all, type in, right? Okay, I really would like to see you participating with me. Okay, for this part, I want you to type in, right? Okay, space. I really find that, many childcare, because of the rental, the cost, right? There's very limited space, okay, that is given to children to move. All right. So some I know the childcare is that like just a house, So do type in space. Okay, this is one thing you need to look out for. A childcare center, right, that has good space for your child. Okay, so thank you, Wawan. Your first one to put. I saw some these days. As I become more active in Facebook, I actually watch some live. They actually give prize, but those are purchased, right? They buy some durian or what, then you share, like and share. I don't know how they how to facilitate that, but I'm not going to do that, okay? Because here I'm really doing a very educational session. So I would like to ask you to like and share too, parents. If you really find that what I share, right, is benefiting you, I'm very sure it is benefiting many other parents out there. So I really want to encourage you to like and share so that more parents, right, can be, enabled, empowered to make that decision. Okay, so space, parents, when you want to find a place, when I say conducive, sum it up, is space, number one. Don't, intellectual wise, like I mentioned you before, parents, intellectual development, yes, of course, important, but for below 3 years old, right, I'm not keen in ABC, like I mentioned to you before. I'm talking about really intentional stimulation, which I cannot blame childcare center, because the teacher-student ratio, that's really not enough, okay, to manage that kind. But at least for motor development, there must be good knowledge, okay, to develop a child, because I don't have my brain diagram today, but the back and the front of the brain are glued together, right, by the motor strip. Okay, the motor strip, parents, next time when I will definitely invite all my parents who are in my life, one by one, to once I launch my live webinar, which I have much more drilling, then okay, the motor strip is actually in the middle, the back and the front of the brain. The middle is actually the motor strip of the brain. So actually, it's very critical in the first 3 years that it is properly developed. Okay, so this is, but of course, parents who are in our academy program is part of our PIES system, okay, which is a physical, number one, physical. So P stands for physical, okay. So yes, PIES, just to give you, because some parents who have been in our CIK program, which I have rebranded a lot of things during this whole transition, and what you have been learning, right, that I have actually summed up to help more parents to understand is PIES system that we actually adopt in our Early Brain Academy, which parents who are enrolled, you went through that. Okay, what is PIES? P stands for physical, I is intellectual, okay, E is emotional, S is social. Okay, so yes, emotional, social. So PIES achiever. We are developing PIES achiever, and parents who are with me and still, towards the last part of our program, you know that you have been doing this a lot, right? So now I try to be more distinct in that so that, parents can be better guided and you are benefiting from it too. Okay, so PIES. Now, this is our system. And so parents, if you are looking for a childcare, there must be this environment too, okay, that gives your child ability, right, has a capability to develop your child that way. But of course, parents who then ask, how, actually, like I said, you are the best person to give your child PIES. Okay, so that's one thing. And the third C, thank you for giving me your response. Okay, really nice. Can you hit like and the thumbs up and the like and the heart shape as well? Okay, it's very encouraging for me to see that. Number 3, care and dedication. Care and dedication from the childcare center, right? Okay, when I say care, oh, sorry. Parents, before I talk about care, there's one more thing that we don't want to see, okay, in childcare. Because I know of parents who come and tell me that the childcare the child goes to has this, you know what, right? The screen. Okay, that scary screen that y'all heard me in another session, right? They actually provide the child screen time, and when that happens, right? You see, many childcare center actually parents, the teachers go in shift, and some of them knock off earlier, right? So maybe some work up to 4:30, some work to 5 o'clock. Then you have lesser teachers to student ratio, and there's a time where, of course, they wait for parents to come and pick up your baby, right? So that period of time, there's no curriculum. Okay, and so if your baby is awake, well, you have a big screen with cartoons, and like I told you, many are not really brain trained, and they provide the screen. And the child just sit there and watch half an hour screen. You know how detrimental, right? And I did mention, if possible, 0 screen, right? But that is something that you need to look out for. Okay, so parents, I hope you are taking note, huh? You're taking note because, or you watch my replay. There's so much, jam in here. I hope you are learning. Are you all learning, right? If you are learning, please type in learning. Learning. I don't want you to fall asleep because I want to see the interaction. It's really nice, parents, to see you moving with me. Okay, we want to move together, and I know it's already 10:26 right now. And like I said, I always try to keep to 1 hour. Okay, sometimes I'll go a bit beyond. But yes, you are learning, right? Please type in learning, okay? And I like to hear that you're learning too, okay? So let me see so that I can put you up here on my screen. Okay, it's really nice to see our parents being active in here. Yeah. So anyone going to start typing, right? Yeah, if you feel that you're drifting off, right? It's good to type. Be active, right? Be my active learner so that you get going. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Connie. Thank you, Patricia. Now, coming back to this, right? Number 3, I talk about care and dedication. What do I mean by care and dedication? Is that look for childcare, right? That really have really true interest in your baby, who love your baby like you do. I know none of us, even including myself, always tell my parents that I cannot love your baby more than you do, right? But at least the heart is there to care for the baby, okay? So look out for the heart, all right? And dedication, when I say dedication, is that are they dedicated to you? Are they, telling you real feedback about your child? Because I know parents who actually come back to tell me that, because sometimes parents come to me, okay, whose child has been to childcare. Sometimes they consult with me, our parents in the academy. Then, they say the change in their child's behavior. And then when I ask them, give them a list of questions to go back to the childcare center to interview, right, to find out the cause of the child's change of behavior and so on. And some childcare center don't give really true answer while the child comes back and says something else. And I do hope that there is a dedication to you as well, not just to our child. Okay, and when I say care, look out for turnover rate of the teachers. All right, and you don't want your child to be exposed to different people all the time, because that increases cortisol as well, the stress level. Okay, so that kind of care is important. So the teacher-baby ratio is also important. So there's a lot of things to look out for, right, parents? I know it's not an easy task to look for a good childcare center. Very limited, very limited. Oh, thank you, parents. You know what? Your response are coming in really late, okay? And I want to thank you for doing that. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, thank you. Yes, thank you for responding. It comes in later than I asked, right? But it's okay. So parents, these are the three C's, okay, that I want to conclude with your criteria for looking for a childcare. If you find that they are helpful, right, can you please type in helpful? Okay, and if you want me to say other things more, right, I will definitely address. I'm going to go back to address some of your questions, okay? Yeah, if you find that these three do give you a very good guide, right, please type in, right? Yeah, helpful, okay? And I at least want to know that is it enough or you have other questions. At least if you say helpful, at least I know that it's full enough, right? Otherwise I could expand a bit more, okay? Because I try not to go beyond. I have a lot to say. Parents know that, once I start talking, right, about this early brain, I really cannot stop, so thank you, Wawan. Thank you. Yes, very help. I'm glad that you find it helpful, and I just want to address this. I'm looking for actually Michelle's question just now. Actually, yeah, how can you address a fear? Parents, if you are keen for me to address this, right? Because I don't want to go too far beyond, but I may need about 5 minutes, so 10 to talk about. If your child refuses to go to school, right, how to address a fear. But I want to explain why she's like that first, Ken. Okay, so if you are okay, then I will go on to talk. Okay, but parents, actually, Cameline was okay. I know her, right? Okay. Why a child first refuses to go to school? Okay, first you need to observe and see, is there any change in the teacher? All right, is there any change in her environment, natural environment, or is it that she only now developed, or since the day she started she's like that? So I have a lot of questions when parents ask me this, right? And I would do a one-to-one assessment with that. And Michelle, if you need to talk to me one-to-one, definitely send me an email, because you are our academy's parents. Okay, so but you need to diagnose, right, what is the cause of this. But one of the very fundamental, which my son had that, okay, let me share with you this, what happened at 3.5, right, which was where my son also started going to nursery. He refused to go to school the first 2 weeks only, not so long, but first 2 weeks he refused to go. And when he started school, right, I still remember he was crying very badly, right? But I just thought, he's 4 years old, right? And he goes to this preschool where my friend is principal, so I feel really good. And it's not an easy place to get into, a mission one, which I like. So yeah, and I must tell you that it's because, like I said, the child is very comfortable at home. Okay, you've given her a very good environment at home, and they're comfortable at home, number one. And the child actually has a very strong bond with the parents at home. Okay, it makes a lot of difference. If a child grows up with the domestic helper most of the time, their direction going to childcare is also very different. Okay, but they are attached to parents. This actually is a very good thing. I celebrate that, that she's like that, because that means that you have provided her with a very rich and full environment at home, that she doesn't go anywhere outside of home. Okay, and that would what I would say. But again, if she's comfortable and now she's changed environment, is another explanation. Okay, so we need to diagnose that. And how can you address the fear of school? Like, okay, then it goes back to find out what's the cause of the fear. Okay, you need to know the cause, then you can address it. So like, if it's because of change of teacher, change of environment, you need to address that. You need to talk to her. But if it's because she's very comfortable at home, then you would really have to take time for her to be detached. Okay, and then for her to adapt and be comfortable. You see, this kind of when I do this, I don't have a one-to-one interaction. A bit difficult for me to really address it specifically. But other parents who are listening in, I hope you also explain to you about your child's behavior. Or some of you may not have started yet, but when the time comes, when you see your child react this way, right, I hope you actually see that. Okay, she's been consistently crying since day one. Then that tells you that she's not ready for school. Seriously. Okay. In fact, I didn't start my son with school, but I think I shared this in another live streaming session, that actually my son, people told me, right, I think 18 months your child can go for this Chinese class. I'm very scared of my son not be able to do Chinese. So I actually started him with a very popular Chinese enrichment class so that he can just go there and sing and dance, right? And read some Chinese character. Not so much school, but just to, hear some Chinese spoken to him. But that time he was about 1.5, 2 years old. He wasn't ready, totally not ready. And he was even before I could even put him in the car seat, right? He was clinging onto me already. Okay, on that particular day, he has to go to the class. So it just says that he's not quite ready to be detached. And so since day one, I don't know how long was day one long ago as well. So parents, it's a very specific question. I mean, but if parents, you are interested to learn, right? Yeah, you just say, you are interested so that I can go on. Okay. Otherwise, I will have a one-to-one because and Michelle is very entitled to our personal attention because Michelle is a parent in our academy. So definitely, I can do a one-to-one review with you to see, Caroline's need and see her behavior. Okay, do call us to make an appointment. Yeah, other parents wise, okay, one is interested. Okay, parents who are, because I don't want to hold other parents back if you don't have this issue, but other parents who are interested, right? Yeah, I'm very happy to address this. So I just want to see your type in interested quickly. And today my system very lag in your response, so I don't want to hold your back because it's already 1:05. Okay, Alcinta is also interested to know this consistent crying, huh? Okay, parents, number one is, like I mentioned, especially parents who have been nurturing your child, the parent who has been giving your child a lot of your time. Okay, this is quite a natural. Sorry, I didn't tell you from day one you sign up our program. Okay, that is very natural that your child, right, would have this kind of tendency because number one, your child has the frontal cortex is more developed than other children. So they're more sensitive emotionally, okay? And they can be more mature than other children to know about the environment and more conscious. Okay. Yes. Thank you for your indication. So I'm going to drag a little. So don't scold me for that. Okay. But I hope you understand that. But seriously, parents, child to child, then there's a general observation that I have. My son, our parents in the academy, right? That we do know that our children tend to be more mature, okay? And because the frontal cortex, if you all remember, right? The frontal cortex is where the emotions and the social skills and all that. Not that your child doesn't have social skill, because they're more aware and especially I know Cameline, since young, she takes time to warm up, okay, with the environment. And maybe Michelle, to help me answer to your context, right? Let me know when was day one. Okay. Yeah. Teresa say your child, okay, had a hard time too, right? Okay. Then he was all set. Today he keeps saying that he misses school. Yeah, that's very nice, Teresa. Because you see, your child is already 4 and he gets used to it. Michelle, can you quickly type in, right? How long was day one? How long ago was that? So I want to know the relative of time and is it an issue to be called for? Okay. But parents, if your child is very clingy to you and so on, like I mentioned to you, right? Below 3 years old and 3.5, my son at 4, okay, the first 2 weeks in school, right? I still remember the very, very memorable scene where his school is big, I told you, right? Where he went to the preschool, There's a very long corridor because it was a primary school that was converted. So it was a very long corridor. You can imagine a primary school corridor. And I stood at one side, waiting for the teacher to console him. He was crying really, inconsolable. And it's very hard, very heart-wrecking when I saw him. He actually ran out from his classroom and then he ran up the corridor, ran to the toilet, and I saw his class teacher ran after him. Raphael. He was crazy. He went crazy. And I was so tempted to run out to hug him, but I really held back and was there crying to myself because he just wasn't ready. And of course, you all know that I have a very good environment for him at home. He was all set, happy at home. Okay, so Michelle sends in her response, right? Started school about a year ago. Okay, all right. And not wanting to, yeah, okay. And I wonder how long was that, and you see, yeah, like you see, like I know Cameron from birth, right? When very young, when you started our program, and I know she's very sensitive and she used to be very cautious, I remember, and she's a very careful girl as well. So this is a very natural, and it will take her a long time to warm up to her school again. Okay. And not only that, right? When you took her out from school when she was unwell, and then now you put her back, right? Do you know a highly intelligent child? She can't tell you, but they rationalize things themselves. They are very good to rationalize things. And what she has rationalized here, okay, from Michelle's answer, right, is that, is why is it that previously you can take me out, I didn't have to go to school, and now you have to take me, right? You had no, I have to go. Did she tell you that? Because I'm sure she can articulate now, right? My son would tell me that, how come last time, you could take me out, why can't you continue to keep me at home? That would be something that your child will rationalize and tell you that, because they're highly intelligent. You have to remember, our children that graduate from the academy, I have full confidence that they're highly intelligent. They can process and they can analyze situation. They may not articulate like an adult to you, but they have their thought process and they have these questions. Okay, how I know? Because my son tell me all these later on, right? When he can really tell me more. Mommy, why I would behave this way? He told me. So this is one outcome. Okay, and yeah, right. And you said that she's very sensitive environment. This is a natural. Like I said, it's a natural outcome. Okay, like I said, it's not something that I would worry about, but I would celebrate her sensitivity. They will, outgrow, and eventually they will adapt. They will fit in. All right, and but of course, it's very, I know, right, heart-wrenching and painful to see her go through that and crying and so on. But after you settle her in, I'm sure she okay with it for the rest of the day. But when the sense of feeling detached, right? Okay, she cries again. And then that's a nice thing to know. Okay, and I wouldn't worry too much about it. You just have to cope with it. Well, Cameline just have to cope with it. Okay, but yeah, it's painful. All right, just something that we have to go through. Okay, so Michelle, I hope I have answered your question and I to know Cameline much better. And I try to refrain from saying that, oh, it's just they'll grow out of it. They definitely will outgrow it. They will definitely outgrow it, because as they grow, right, they adapt and they do. There's no question. Okay, and so I don't want to sweep it under the carpet, the topic, but I also do not want to say and downplay it, in a sense. I hope I have given you an explanation to her behavior so that you can appreciate her better. Okay, and Teresa, you're very right to say separation anxiety, and that is from day one. I told you, right? A child has that dependence attachment, right? Can you all type that down? I would like to see, right? Other parents start writing, right? Dependence attachment. Okay. Yeah, exactly. So you see, Michelle, I like told you, I already can tell you that your child is more intelligent than other kids. They can rationalize, and that's what she is. Okay. You see, right? She's so smart. And before you tell me, I already know, because this is a brain that you and I have worked together to set up. Okay, and that is the way they think. Well, you have a highly intelligent daughter. You know what? I can only say that. Seriously, parents, don't worry about such behavior, because actually, if a child can behave this way, you just this cry that they have is just telling you that she's comfortable at home, and she has. And the other thing is that I don't think they're that fearful of going to school. It's just their choice of preferring to stay at home. Okay, I can tell my 12-year-old, if you ask him anytime, he prefers to stay home too. In fact, he was telling me he enjoys school, he has friends and all that, but he so enjoy home, right? Because we have a very good environment for him. And he's telling me that he actually, wait for another circuit breaker, so that he can stay home to learn. And he's learning very well because he's very self-disciplined. Okay, so I have no worry about that. But again, parents, I hope Michelle, I have answered your question, for Cameline, and you should really celebrate that sensitivity. I know it is painful, for her to cry and all that, and she's standing so cute, right? I tell you that she hope it rains. Yeah, okay, so yeah, and parents, if you face a child like that, right, really fret not. Don't think of it as crying is not anything bad. I would always tell you, when a child cries, it's good because they're expressing themselves. All right. But of course, like I said, there are different types of cry, okay, which is for another day, a topic for another day, right? We talk about different type of cry and what cry is not normal. Well, that is another day, okay? But I just want to say that it is okay. Okay. So actually, I want to conclude, parents. I want to conclude by saying that actually there really is no hurry. There really is no hurry if you have the environment for your child at home. Okay. If you have the environment for your child at home, there really is no hurry. But if you really, like I said, the need, as I opened earlier, if you both are working, there's no better place than home, at home, then no choice. Under that no choice situation, yes. But if you are home, you have the privilege. Actually, it's a privilege, our parents. It's not everybody has that. So actually, it is a privilege. Okay. Yes, Michelle, you need time and you need time to get over it. That's what you get. Okay. Yes, and talk to her a lot, and let her understand. And still, she will express that way. Okay, but do assure her, and talk to her. Okay, yeah. This one I can tell that I celebrate her emotions. Okay, so coming back to this is no hurry, parents. If you are looking to socialize, okay, or looking to go to school, then I would say that the socialization part, the best is at home below 3. Okay, peer socialization is when your child has honed the skills that I mentioned earlier, and then it's time to go to school to expand, right, the horizon to socialize with others. So the security at home sets up that ability to socialize outside. You don't want to send a child who's don't know how to control his emotion, who is not developed, emotionally and socially at home, and then they go out to school, becomes a problem in school, and then you keep getting call from teachers complaining, and you have to go to school, you have to manage that. Is even worse. And in fact, sometimes going to school worsens that condition because the cortisol rises and many other misbehavior, right? So parents, it's very, I hope I have put topic close, really succinctly for you. So, really, there's no place like home. Cameline is telling you that, Michelle. Okay. Yes, there's no place like home. But I know 3.5. Yes, time to go. 3.5 probably is nursery already, right? Okay. Depending on which month she is. But it might be a nursery level. And then after that will be kindergarten 1, kindergarten 2. And if she reacts, we just have to work with her, give her the assurance, and cope with her and let her, move on. Okay. But there's really no place like home, parents. So if your child is below 3 and you have that help at home, right? You learn to provide the system. Okay. You learn to give your child the environment at home, the socialization, and the security. A child who is very well secured, right, in development of their relationship at home will go a much longer way in developing a stronger relationship with friends outside as well. Okay, and not only that, you want your child to learn habits, right? Good habits and so on. You want them to that's the best place to your child to learn at home. Okay. Yes, thank you. Yes, Michelle, I appreciate all your presence. Okay, so good night to all of you. And before you go, can you say, as usual, right? Let me hear you saying that you had a joy of learning. Okay, today I have a big joy from me. And I like to invite you to type in joy, no goodbyes, because I will see you next Tuesday at 9:30, same time. Okay, but as before you go, right? Yeah, please type in joy, joy, joy. Okay, I like to see your big joy, to see that you have the joy of learning together with me as well. If you're enjoying my baby talk, right? Yeah, some encouragement from you will be, it's really nice, right? One, yes, thank you. Yes, I like to see all your joy as I go. And, it's really nice to close the session with mommy saying that they are joyous parents, they are learning. Okay, Marissa, thank you. Yes. Oh, Lisha, yeah, in. Okay, good to see you. And some parents who come in later. I want to encourage you to go watch the replay because I've done so much definition. I give you so much assurance, okay, on what your child needs. All right. So I hope this gives you a good starting point, okay, to consider school or anything. And if you have very peculiar question to your own environment, your situation, I really welcome you to send me a direct message, all right? And I'm really very happy to hear from parents and to answer you as well. All right. And I know some parents still are inquiring about my webinar live, and some parents are waiting even to find out more about my Early Brain Academy program and the system that we apply. Yes, they're coming out pretty soon because now I'm settling into our new center that we shifted to a bigger premise. So yeah, we're settling in with the contractors and so on. So hopefully, okay, things will start to flow again faster and regularly for me. Okay. Meanwhile, parents, you do take care. And I wish you all the best, and do keep in touch, and I will see you next Tuesday. All right. So good night to all of you. Okay.